I'm just about to cover a really smart way that you guys can start generating some decent profits using TopCashBack, so let's get started. And here's the thing, there is not a lot to be said about the way the website works because the name is pretty self-explanatory, right? This is a cashback website. And just to make things even more obvious, they've got a pretty good description on their homepage that says you can get money back whenever you shop online. So let me explain how that works. You see, these guys have partnered up with thousands of different online brands, and whenever you purchase an item in one of their partner stores, you will receive a percentage of your money back. You will get a discount. Now, as people say, a penny saved is a penny earned, so that is the first way you can make some money, just by saving a few dollars over and over again whenever you shop online. However, guys, we're not gonna focus on that, and instead, we're going to put together a system that allows us to make money without spending a single dollar out of our own pocket, if that makes sense. Stick with me because it's gonna be worth it. And here's the thing about TopCashback. This is not just a shady website that nobody has ever heard of. If you head over to Trustpilot for a second and take a look at their reviews, you're gonna notice that TopCashback is labeled as an excellent app. It's a verified company with a registered domain name ownership and a verified bank account as well. And if you take a look at the individual reviews, people are quite satisfied with the cashbacks they are getting. But now, in order to really understand how this method will work, let's just dive a little bit deeper. What you want to do is scroll down to the bottom of this page and take a look at this. Just as mentioned before, they have already partnered up with thousands of top brands in all sorts of different niches, ranging from fashion to electric appliances to home and garden, groceries, shopping, travel, and the list goes on. In other words, guys, it doesn't really matter which website I connect to, as long as it's listed here, I can still get a percentage of my money back when I make a purchase. And that's where the opportunity lies for us, and that's exactly what we are going to capitalize. But again, I'm not gonna ask you to go on a shopping spree, go out there and just spend thousands of dollars to make any significant amounts of money. Instead, we're going to take someone else's money and use that in order to get the discounts, all in a legal way. I'm fairly confident that most of you watching this video right now are somewhat familiar with the concept of dropshipping, right? It's one of the most popular business models out there, and it's quite beginner friendly as well. The way it works is as follows. You're gonna set up your own dropshipping store, or you can just list items on a different website such as eBay, for instance. You're gonna list them for sale. Whenever a customer sees your listing and they place an order, what you're gonna do is just call your supplier and have them ship the item straight over to your customer's door without you ever handling the item itself. You don't need to have a storage space, you don't need an inventory, and you don't have to purchase any items in advance, risking to have leftover stock. That's why the dropshipping model is so attractive for beginners who are just starting out. You don't have to make major upfront investments. You're just gonna purchase that item whenever there is a demand for it, whenever you've already received an order for it, if that makes sense. And that's why we can take advantage of this cashback website in order to make even more money. Let me briefly explain how. I mean, take a look at this. Let's say that we are looking to start selling items through eBay, right? Virtually anybody can start selling items on this platform. You can just click on the sell item and then click on list an item right here. It's a three-step process. You list your item, doesn't matter if it's new or used, but we are going to focus on new ones. You also get seller protection, and ultimately you choose when you want to get paid. So it's pretty self-explanatory. I'm not gonna waste any more of your time with that. But now that we understand how selling on eBay works, we need to find another place to outsource the products. In other words, we need to find a supplier or a manufacturer. And this is where TopCashback is coming into play. You see, what you want to do is head back over to the list of partners they have and find a very cheap supplier. Now, I've done my research, and from my experience, Wayfair would qualify for that. In case you're not familiar with their website, this is a furniture online store where you can buy all sorts of different items for your living room, for your garden, and so on. But most of the times, they offer very competitive prices, which means that you can purchase, let's say, a sofa off of Wayfair for a relatively small price and then sell it for a profit on eBay. And that's actually what a lot of people are doing. A very similar supplier would be Overstock.com, which works in an identical way. You're just gonna connect to the website, find an undervalued item that is quite unique, that's out of the ordinary, and you think is gonna sell, and then you're gonna download the pictures and list it on eBay for a higher price. And here's the thing, whenever you get an order on eBay, what you're gonna do is take your customer's money, head over to Overstock or Wayfair and purchase the item from here. But you're going to earn an extra 2, 3, 4%. What you're gonna do is make use of TopCashback. I hope that makes sense. In other words, you're not just gonna take your customer's money and head back over to the supplier, but you're gonna use TopCashBack as a middleman. That allows you to get an extra 2, 3, 4, 5% for each and every single sale. Now, if we're only talking about 1 or 2 sales, that's not gonna make a difference. It's just a few bucks. But if we're talking about thousands upon thousands of sales, which is ultimately what we are aiming for, it's gonna matter because it amounts to hundreds or thousands of dollars. It all adds up. Even that 5% bonus is going to really be significant in the long run. And by the way, guys, TopCashBack is not the only website of its sort. Here's another very similar one that we have recently covered on the channel. It is called Rakuten.com, and it also offers cashback opportunities. Whenever you partner up at one of their partner stores, you will get 4% cashbacks, 7%, 10% cashbacks, and the list goes on. And some of these are actually quite reputable. We're talking about Adidas, Walmart, and you can even get up to 16% discounts. Just imagine that. They also have a partnership with Overstock that is gonna make things really easy and straightforward when it comes to the dropshipping model if you want to focus on furniture items. But I'm gonna leave that up to you. At the end of the day, you can choose the approach that best suits you. But the business model is gonna stay the same. If you want to implement a dropshipping model, the easiest thing you can do is just sell those items on eBay for a higher price. However, there are a lot of things that you can do wrong, which are basically going to sabotage the entire process. You see, just listing an item on eBay and then hoping for the best is not a sustainable process. It's not a good strategy. What you want to do is really optimize that listing. And there are a lot of things you can optimize, ranging from the images you're using to the text, the keywords, the title. Now, learning how to optimize that listing yourself is going to take an insanely long amount of time. And now I'm not trying to pitch my own services or anything of that sort. What I'm trying to do here is show you the fact that you can literally pay someone else, you can pay a freelancer for optimizing your listing, and in the long run that is really going to make a difference because they probably know what they're doing. They've been doing this hundreds of times over. They know how to maximize the exposure of an eBay or an Amazon listing, and that's definitely gonna help you. Even if it only brings you 1 or 2 new clients per week, that's still significant and is gonna recover the investment. Most of the times we're talking about $20 or $30 that it would cost you to optimize a listing, which is not that significant, right? And now, guys, of course, if you want to take matters into your own hands and not be platform dependent, you can implement this method the old-fashioned way. You can set up your own e-commerce store using Shopify or a similar tool. You can list your items for sale there for a slightly higher price than you bought them for, and then have some sort of automation or integration that will allow you to make use of Rakuten or TopCashBack in order to get an extra 2, 3, 4% of your money back. Now, guys, here's the thing. If you take a look at the bigger picture, most of the times the dropshipping profit margin is gonna be anywhere between 15 and 20%. Now, if you add another 2, 3, 4% to that, just by getting those cashbacks, just by having that automation in place, by going that extra mile, it is going to amount to something quite significant in the long run. Again, we're talking about hundreds of dollars. But of course, the dropshipping model is an entire business model in and of itself, so it will be quite complex. This is not something that you can do overnight and you're gonna make millions off of it. It's gonna take some time. There are a lot of different technicalities that go into it. Everything from building your own e-commerce store, making sure it works, making sure it doesn't have any bugs, to optimizing your listings, to dealing with marketing, because that's also something that most people overlook. Here's the thing. If you're not going to sell items on eBay, but instead you want to sell on Shopify, you need to find a source of traffic. You need to promote your e-commerce store one way or another. And you can opt for Facebook ads, TikTok ads, influencer marketing. There are quite a few different options. But again, what I'm trying to provide you with here is the idea. When it comes to the execution, you will have to put in some effort. You will most likely have to watch a few other tutorials in order to actually make it happen. But I want you guys to at least consider this idea, consider getting those cashbacks and implementing the dropshipping model accordingly. All the resources you need to make it work are out there, and most of them are available for free. There is so much content out there on YouTube that you get access without paying a single dollar. So I want you guys to at least give it a try and let me know how it went. That's it for now, and thanks for watching.